and show you how to make Chelsea loaf. And this is a British-inspired version of the sticky bun. Altogether different filling, but it does start with the exact same recipe for the yeast dough that I used in the original cinnamon sticky buns. And I have that proofing right behind me. It's been rising for an hour and a half now. With the dough almost ready to roll, I can start on the filling. Half a cup of room temperature butter. I find it tidier to weigh my butter as opposed to filling a measuring cup with it. So that half a cup is 4 ounces. A British style of Chelsea bun takes a combination of granulated and brown sugar. So just 1/3 of a cup of packed light brown sugar, but 2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar. And I'll just cream these together. You can see how it's already lighter in color. Add a loose tablespoon of vanilla extract. You can just eyeball it. And then to replace the aromatics that you get when cinnamon buns bake, I'm going to rely on orange zest. So about a tablespoon of that. And to help this filling turn all liquidy and syrupy within the Chelsea loaf, a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. It's the acidity of the lemon juice that achieves that. For the fruit filling, I rely on candied and dried fruits that you would find in an English pantry. I've got half a cup of chopped glacé cherries. And in addition to that, one of my personal favorites, dried currants. And that's 2/3 of a cup. And finally, a half a cup of diced mixed candied peel. And I'll just give that a little stir. There, time to get rolling. I have the dough that's doubled in size, so I know it's ready to roll. And I roll the dough out to about the same size as I did for the sticky buns. Try and get it about 20 inches across. And now I can spread on the filling, and a tool I like to rely on is my offset spatula. It has so many uses in a bake shop, whether it's to loosen a cake from the pan, to frost the sides of the cake, or to spread a gooey, sticky bun filling over a rolled out portion of dough. Now, nice even sprinkling of the colorful dried and candied fruits, and roll it up from the long side. And now it's time to up the ante on the technique. Instead of making individual sticky buns, I want to twist and shape this into a loaf. What I'm going to do is slice the entire roll lengthwise and cut it in half this way. Now I'm going to twist the 2 halves together. Twist and twist again, and twist and twist again. Now, it doesn't have to be so precise. What counts is you really get it well wound up. And I'll do the same with this half. So now I've got 2 twists, and I'm going to twist these twists. So now it's distributing the fruit in a double spiral throughout the loaf. And in it goes into the pan, and I still have to follow that same technique, have to let it rise again, another hour under a tea towel. And I have one that's rested for an hour, so you can see that yeast has come back to life, filled in all the gaps, and it's going to expand again when it hits the heat of the oven. This takes 55 minutes to bake in a 350 oven. Put it on a baking tray just in case some of the sticky filling spills out over the pan. You can really smell the orange zest. Fantastic. Now, the important step, the other characteristic common to sticky buns is the goo. Now this time it's a hot glaze that I pour on top of it. I start with 3 tablespoons of water on high heat, and I add to that 1/3 of a cup of sugar and just a tablespoon of butter. Bring it up to a simmer until you can see that the sugar is fully dissolved. It will run all over it, so keep it on the baking tray. Just make sure you get a nice even coat. And as the loaf cools, the glaze stays on the outside and it keeps that beautiful shine. After half an hour of cooling, I pop the loaf out of the tin to let it cool completely. And here is a grand Chelsea loaf. And you can see it still has that beautiful shine to it. Just like slicing a loaf of bread, use a bread knife and reveal that beautiful interior. See all the twisting and folding? It looked rough and rustic going into the pan, but it looks so polished and professional now. Oh, look at that. All the twists and folds. And of course, you eat it just like a sticky bun. The Brits sure have it right with their Chelsea loaf.